Welcome to the Full Charge Power Hour. I'm Matt Fulcheron. I was going to do a whole backwards episode today.
I know, you were so excited.
I was gonna,
Momentum?
Memento. But it's also like the maybe what some consider to be the worst episode of Seinfeld. The scenes went backwards in order. But I was going to start out like, yo, thanks for listening, blah, blah, blah. Then we were going to go straight to Wendell. Then some clips. Then some bullshit. But it's a regular episode.
It's a regular.
I thought I could only get Wendell at a certain time. Turns out I can get him at regular air time. Regular 4:45. Here's what I'm trying to say. Pledge on Patreon. Patreon.com/the full charge. We need to build a new studio. We'll leave it at that. No hard feelings, but excuse me, we're not. Should I start over?
No, this is pretty much.
We are not going to be.
You do realize you burp a lot, right?
Yeah,
okay.
because I drink these carbonated beverages when I get here.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Anyway, we're not going to be recording here at All Things Comedy. We thank All Things Comedy
absolutely.
for the time we got to take
Aaron.
here. And Aaron
miss Aaron.
especially.
Aaron, would you like to say you're going to miss us too? Or?
He doesn't
Sorry,
have
I
to do
realized my cough button was not engaged.
your burp button.
Yeah, I will miss you. I will still listen.
Oh, thank you. That's really nice.
Yeah.
But we do have plans for a new studio, believe it or not. We're going to partner up with Brendan Walsh. But anyway, patreon.com/the full charge is going to help us out, help us buy some cameras and stuff like that. And also come see me. I'm on tour. I got a tour going. I'm going to be in Louisville, Kentucky, Cincinnati, Ohio, Nashville, Tennessee. I'm going to be in Brooklyn, New York. I'm going to be in Boston, Massachusetts, Hartford, Connecticut, San Diego, California. I mean, someplace in Florida. I don't even really know where yet. And come see me. We're doing this. I got door deals, motherfuckers. Come see me. And yeah, here we are, still recovering from the fires.
By the way, I'm impressed with the fact that you rattled off all that stuff without, any type of notes in front of you. That was a great memory.
I know where I'm going, and I've been
except for Florida. You don't know where you're going.
No, because I just got that gig, and I don't have any details on it yet. But this kid is we had him on.
Oh,
Tyler.
Right. Yeah. Good kid.
He's making phone calls for me. It's so awesome to have somebody
with energy and hustle.
But just a middleman between these club people.
It's always good to have somebody else hyping your hype.
Hyping
Always.
it, or just like, I don't think people feel as comfortable lowballing you in front of somebody that knows what the standard prices are, what a good price is, what a bad price is. I think they're just better about it.
You're talking about Aaron? Or not Aaron, sorry.
I'm talking about the club bookers.
Club.
They're like, all right, I'm not going to embarrass myself and tell this agent
Right. Okay,
that this is what I pay comics.
Right, yeah, fair enough. Got it.
Let's see what we got. I was going to go straight to Wendell, so I'm unprepared.
That's all right. Do you like the fact that my wife made fun of my outfit today?
I think it looks good. It does look like
it's pre-op.
Now,
I know it looks like I'm going in for pre-op, which is
Yeah.
totally fine. For those who are not watching and only listening, I'm wearing, what would you describe as I'm wearing?
It is an old school tracksuit.
Yeah.
Without the 3 stripes.
And it's not a zipper down like.
No, it's what you wore in gym class in outside winter days. It's like very generic gray on gray.
Yeah, but with the hood. So the only difference is it's not Sylvester Stallone and Rocky running up the steps.
Yeah.
It's not a 1950s old dude. And what I mean by that is because it has a hood on it. It's not the hoodless workout.
Yeah.
Give me a massive medicine ball.
Right. That's more of a George Costanza thing. I don't know if you noticed they dressed him up like a 5th grade nerd all the time.
But it's comfortable, and I had to go do a workout, and I told her, I said, this is where I'm at in my life, and I'm totally okay with it.
So you're working out even with this air quality?
No. I'm sorry. I should clarify. I am going to physical therapy for my torn knee.
Oh, okay.
So I'm internal. I'm inside at a place doing my thing.
I'm more stressed out than usual because they say the air quality is fine, but I can tell it's fucking up my throat. And my wife keeps sending me videos of just how bad the air quality is, and she's got me wearing masks and stuff.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of the pandemic. You wear a mask outside and take it off when you go inside. But then there's those fanatics that still wear them in Albertsons.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't have a point of view on it either way. I started going down the rabbit hole with the whole air quality thing because I started panicking because my neighbors were panicking.
Yeah.
And then I have another neighbor who's like, I'm not going to panic. He's like, they're talking about things we can't see, feel, hear. They don't have any real information for it yet. So what are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to just never be normal again? Then you got some people that say you're trying to be too normal too quick. I more worry about my kids when it comes to everything in my life. I don't worry about myself as much as I worry about my loved ones around me. And so I have had moments of anxiety with that because it is messed up what happened in LA. No matter how you look at it or how you feel about it politically and all that other bullshit that people want to get into.
And it is bullshit.
Which is not relative to what happened.
Yeah.
People are suffering and have gone through a lot. And so I don't know. I mean, as far as I just do the test, I get all the information that I get and then I go outside. And if it does bother you, then that means your system is telling you, hey, it's bothering me. If it doesn't bother other people, they're like, it doesn't bother me, I'm fine.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. And there's not enough information out there to get like a full.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are you having fun?
There you go. I talk with my hands too much.
I haven't been.
I know that didn't help you in any way, shape, or form.
No, it did because I haven't been swimming because I don't think it's good to like really drastically be out of breath in this weather.
There hasn't been as many people, and I'm sure you've noticed the same thing, out hardcore working.
Yeah, well, you can hear in my throat.
Yes.
Like something, I'm being affected. My wife bought an air purifier.
We have those,
and it just says it's like good air, good air, good air.
Yeah.
And then every once in a while for 2 minutes it'll be like bad air quality, bad air quality.
But that can
and
be
then it
for a
goes right
million
back.
years.
It goes right back to normal.
Yeah.
Like what is this thing?
I don't know. It's funny. I talked to a guy today who grew up in LA, and he's like, "Ha! You know what it was like 40 years ago?" He goes, "Dude, there was bad air quality every day for the whole entire lives of people."
I read about this.
He's like, the skies were brown and never were not brown here. And he goes, "We grew. That's how we lived."
Right, and they would always be canceling baseball games and stuff. I read this. Like you couldn't play outside as a kid, really. They'd be like, you got to come inside, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
And you see pictures from back in the day. The smog was 10 times worse than it is now.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to rain this weekend.
Yeah, so it starts there.
Welcome back to talking about the weather in Los Angeles with Matt and Brian.
Yeah.
I got topics. Shut up. Have you seen the Jerry Springer doc?
Not yet. It's on my list of that, and I kind of dabbled in the Tom Green one that just came out.
There's a Tom Green one?
Yeah, I haven't. I watched the trailer for it. It just came out on Prime. I have not watched the Jerry Springer one. I watched the trailer, and I was like, do I want to get into this right now?
You definitely want to get into the Jerry Springer.
All right.
Because, and I remember this. It starts off as this just C-grade Phil Donahue show where Jerry Springer is a nice guy who tries to like reunite families and stuff and then gives a talk at the end that's all sensitive. He always hung on to that. So I saw that when I was like, I don't know, 18. And then I just kind of forget about it. And then when I'm about 20, 21, one of my friends goes, yeah, man, we're going to go watch Jerry Springer right now. And I'm like, what? It's like saying, I'm going to go watch Phil Donahue and you're 20, 21 years old.
Yeah.
And I was like, huh? And they just start talking about all these people fighting. And I still don't get it until I see it. The amount of fist fighting footage they have on this show of regular people just beating the shit out of each other is ridiculous. I mean, it's almost like it's going to happen every episode.
Well, they want it to happen.
They definitely want it to happen, and that's what they go into. They fly these people in. First of all, on the phone, they act like they're actually going to try to help them solve their problem, right? So just as an example, a vanilla example would be there's a couple and then the man is cheating with a woman and they're going to invite all three of them in and they say, we're going to help you work out your problems. And I don't know how you've never seen this show, but that's not going to help anything. Then they get them there. They pick them up in a limo. First of all, they drive them to the airport in their hometowns in a limo to the airport, pick them up in a limo, and set them up to like basically party all night at the hotel. They set them up with drinks. There's drugs. Like, I don't think they supply them with drugs, but like people who like drugs are like, I'm drunk now, I'm getting some drugs. I'm in Chicago now. It's a lot easier, you know? And then they rehearse it backstage and be like, I don't think they wouldn't like to use the word rehearse, but it is what it is. They're like,
They're guiding them.
they're like, make sure you tell them this and do not, and they do like an improv. And if the person like goes, well, I guess we'll just have to agree to disagree. They go, no. They go, you got to make sure they know, like, just never give up on your side of the story. And it gets to the point where there's a murder. Do you know about this?
No,
I don't
knew
think
about
I'm spoiling anything. This is only
Jo-
going to make you watch it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There was the Jenny Jones one had something similar as well. So I did not know that Springer also had one.
Yeah.
No surprise.
Right.
But continue.
It was like a love triangle thing, and then the boyfriend or the husband or whatever, he gets drunk at a bar, and it's airing at the bar, the episode.
Of course it is.
Which means he's getting drunk at like 2 p.m. And then he goes and he murders the woman. It's insanity, you know? And it sucks for the family members of the woman because it's just so sensational. And they don't even really use the family member's name. The whole discussion is about Jerry Springer.
So they're already minimizing.
Yeah.
Even in the doc, they're minimizing.
But they must have paid. This kid just got out of college. And his father worked at Saturday Night Live. So his father like really judged the son for working on Jerry Springer. But the kid, he graduates from college, and he just his job is to answer the phone when it says like, you know, call if you have your story on the TV show before they go to commercial at the 45 mark. And he just answered the phone, and the guy like did all this stuff, and they must have paid him a lot of money because up front he goes, "This is the last time I'm talking about this fucking television show," because it fucked him up, you know. He was just a kid, and he was rewarded for making sure he was really good at it. Even though he's a totally nice guy, he was really good at it. And he just spills the beans, man. Like, he just talks about like all the tactics they used. And then Jerry Springer was like all removed from it. Like, Jerry wasn't involved in the booking. He would find out what the show was about that day. And then if you watch the show, he always acted like he was above it. Which, I don't know. There's also a documentary about Morton Downey Jr.
They're all the same. Morton Downey Jr. kind of started it. I know they said there was a guy out in California, which we wouldn't know.
Yeah, we didn't hear.
That was on like cable access television. That was kind of like the guy that started all this confrontational type of talk show stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you think about what we grew up with.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like, I know they still had the Phil Donahues and the Oprahs of the world, but basically all of a sudden there was a huge shift.
Well, let's not also forget that Phil Donahue and Oprah Winfrey were still a big step into controversial stuff, like the like, you know, like incest survivors, what have you. I don't know real examples.
They had lines in the sand though where it was like, well, we're not getting into a fight today. No chairs will be thrown today. Geraldo Rivera, wasn't he one that did
Geraldo did it, and so that's what's weird about the documentary. They do act like they're the first people to do it, but I remember a neo-Nazi group fighting, I don't even know who, maybe some Jewish people on the stand, maybe just some people with real morals. and so you heard about that. I never saw
getting
it.
Smashed in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this one, they went by the same playbook. They were like, all right, we're going to have the Ku Klux Klan on. And, you know, some leaders from the Jewish community. And it just starts like the guy from the Jewish organization. He starts it. He gets in. He starts fighting the guy in the Klan robe or whatever. I hope I'm remembering this correctly. And it just goes hog wild.
Which is exactly what they wanted. The problem was they wanted the same entertainment as wrestling.
Yeah.
But wrestling's fake.
Wrestling's fake.
These people are really fighting.
Wrestling's fake, but they're athletes. They know how. They're like dancers.
Right, exactly.
And like real actors,
Right.
like trained actors.
Yeah.
They know how to do all the stuff, and they still get hurt, by the way.
They do, yeah.
But they know how to do it in a way, and then at the end of the day, they're wrestlers.
Right.
It doesn't affect their personal lives.
No.
They can leave work at work, you know.
Well, kind of.
To a varying degree.
Yeah.
We all take our work home with us. But it's not like you got in a fist fight with your mom.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right, because you know what they did? They rebooked the Klan.
Of course.
You know? So it's like they can't pretend like they don't want it to happen.
Did you watch this stuff in real time when you were growing up?
I
Did
never
you ever
watched
watch it?
this show. I thought it was so disgusting.
Okay.
Occasionally you watch it just to see what it is.
What about all the court shows where people wouldn't necessarily get in fights, but they were also dragging their dirty laundry onto television? Did you watch any of those?
I didn't get into that. I did like the People's Court, but that wasn't too trashy.
No. It was after the derivatives of that.
It was petty, but not
Not
trashy. It didn't really get that personal, because Wapner would be like, hey, this isn't relevant.
Yeah.
You know? Then don't make Rusty kick you out.
Going deep. That's some great memories.
I love the People's Court. I would watch that one.
Well, you probably can on YouTube, or I'm sure it's on one of those old people channels.
You could, and you'd be surprised how bored you'd
yeah.
be. You know?
And then you'd be watching all the commercials on the old people channel of like, is there anything that's good about a human body? Because apparently everything needs to be fixed now.
Yeah, no kidding.
you.
We grew up in a time, we thought we grew up in a turbulent, immoral time. That's the way it was presented to us.
The
And
90s
turns
were
out
pretty jacked up.
Turns out we're pretty much from the 1950s. I'm talking about the 70s and the 80s. Which when you go back and you read about it and look at it, yeah, tons of crazy shit was going on. But when you compare, like, the People's Court was entertainment, compare that to entertainment of today, and it's insanity. What were you gonna say? The 90s were crazy?
Well, the 90s, I remember specifically that the 90s was an entertainment shift, and so it was a cultural shift to two things were starting to happen. That was the beginning of political correctness, but it was also the beginning of like more of like attitude-driven stuff, from music to any forms of entertainment to just dudes being douchebags in the street, right? It became things became a little more aggressive. People started to be going like, you know, fuck that 80s, like everybody's dancing and
that was
shit
immediate.
Like,
it was like Trump's January 20th. It was like we're sick of the 80s.
Yeah.
Like January 1st, 1990.
Yeah.
We were making fun of the 80s.
Yeah.
Because the 80s were already over in 1988.
It was one of the worst fades from about 87 to 90. It was one of the slowest fadeaways of sadness.
Right.
That you can have, because people were so done with it. I agree with you.
People were done with the corny, right down to the corny MTV videos.
Yeah.
They were immediately made fun of, you know?
It was, people were trying to run out of that decade, dude. It's hilarious.
Yeah, totally. And it was instantly made fun of. It's kind of come back.
Yeah.
You know, people have space from it now.
But it comes back, they don't have the full understanding. They're trying to pretend that they're from it, but they have no real reference.
I had no idea how much people hated Reagan, because I grew up in an area where, like, I went to a Catholic school and the teachers were like, Ronald Reagan. They loved Ronald Reagan. They would tell you how great he was, and it was almost right down to it was the right person to vote for. Not that we voted. We were too young.
Right, yeah.
But then you get older and you find out about, like, or I would still, Reagan was still president, I think, and I was listening to Suicidal Tendencies, and he has a song called I Shot Reagan. Do you know this song?
No.
It goes, I shot Reagan, and I'll do it again and again and again and again and again and again. Mike Muir, singer from Suicidal Tendencies, the FBI actually, you know,
they did.
opened a file on him.
Oh, okay.
You can't say shit like that.
No, I know, but I didn't know if that was an always thing, you know, or it's more of a modern thing.
I think that's the era that you can't say that.
Well, he also did get shot, so
that's the thing, and I think they didn't take Hinckley seriously enough. I think he might have said it or something. So they were like, "How can we get ahead of this stuff?" And you will be investigated. I don't think they can keep track of it now, because people say crazy shit constantly.
By the way, I'm glad that I can say this, because we have way more problems, you know, mass shootings and all that stuff. But the assassination thing, I'm glad that kind of went away. That was a thing for a while, right?
What, Trump's?
No, not Trump. I mean, I know that was the first time in a long time that you had seen anything like that, and it's not a common thing. But it seemed like way more common in the 70s
and 80s,
and the 80s, not just American, but just like everywhere.
Yeah,
people were like, you know what? I don't like what this person's saying. Let's go ahead and just take this guy out and put somebody else in. It was just a little bit out of control.
Now people take it out on other citizens.
Right. It's just,
Which is
now
crazy.
they're just Jerry Springer in the streets with each other.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah, no, and that's what the documentary kind of concludes. It's like we've become... I don't think you can blame Jerry Springer for this. It's across
Everything
the
is
board.
a symptom.
People become more and more... you can blame Curb Your Enthusiasm for it. I mean, I attribute Curb Your Enthusiasm to me talking shit to people. I go, it's funny when Larry David does it, you know? And then, but now I've become an adult. I'm like, I'll just keep my mouth shut.
It's easier.
It's easier, and it's just going to pass. It's going to pass. And whatever's going on is not about you.
It's so funny when I unfortunately scroll through anything on social media where there's like conflict stuff.
Yeah.
My first thing now, if I decide to commit to continue watching it, is take it from my perspective of like, now, Brian, be honest with yourself. Would you have engaged in this situation and just added to the shit show that is taking place here?
Yeah.
Or are you trying to believe that you're above it because you're just scrolling through it on social media and going, look at these fucks.
Oh, man.
What the fuck is their thing? And I'm watching it going, I wonder if I was there, not behind the camera, but if I was there, would I engage? And now I say to myself, no matter what the situation is, I'm like, walk away, man. I got to tell myself to walk away. From
You
this
know
shit.
you would walk away in real life.
I
You
don't
know
know.
you wouldn't care.
Now, yes. I'm just saying, but there was a point where I've engaged in shit in the past. Like somehow or another, I had a hero complex.
Right.
Like
right,
I'm going to
right.
help out in this situation.
Yeah.
When no one's asking.
Yeah. I think probably me too. I think at a certain point you step back and you go, I can't change anybody's mind. If it's funny, if it's a good point, everyone's just looking to dunk on each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I made the best point. Who cares? No one's going to acknowledge that you made the best point against them.
If I look back on the pandemic era,
Yeah.
that also had some protest era,
Oh, yeah.
and I look back on some of my overinflated, self-indulgent hot takes I had
We had nothing
on
else to do.
social media, it's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
I am
I'm
not going to
embarrassed
get rid
too.
of it. I'm not going to get rid of it. I have to own what I have said, right?
You can delete it.
Own it.
Yeah, okay.
I own it. I was out there.
If anyone's going back that far on your feed, they're crazy anyway.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, I always look at it like, well, for posterity's sake, at least my kids will know what I was thinking. I'm like, they're never going to fucking look at that shit. That's
And it would be so weird to see that. Like I found an old phone recently. You do this all the time. And I was going through the pictures, and it's so interesting how our phones tell a story now.
yeah.
So like the phone starts in 2018, right when I moved in with my wife, my then girlfriend, and you just see this story. It's love in New York for 2 years, right? Like the first 30 minutes of a movie, and then it's the pandemic. It's me on the rooftop where I had nowhere else to go. Then it's me in New Orleans, like getting beaten into a gang, aka my in-laws. You know? And and it's just me in New Orleans, and then it's us back in New York, and it's Looney Tunes what we went through, and we've all just ditched it so we can move on with our lives.
But here's the most
But we all went crazy.
But here's the most important thing. Did you look at it with a nice iPhone jingle when it brought back the memories?
No, yeah, that is funny. Isn't that funny when they give you bad memories?
Yeah. But it's not. But it's a hot, genuine, like this lighthearted music we've thrown over all this stuff.
You're in handcuffs.
Have you ever been in handcuffs?
Yeah, I've been in handcuffs.
Okay.
There was a time.
Are you glad you at least got put in handcuffs once in your life? I've never been, and I often wonder if I should have at least once in my life found myself in handcuffs. Which is a weird thing to think, but
it's good to have the experience, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay.
And you should avoid it at all costs. And it's not a good memory for me.
okay.
And but it should be, because here's what happened. I was at this party. I used to just go to parties. Was I telling you about this? How there's like everybody in my apartment complex was my age, and we would just go over and we'd be like, hey, where's the party? And then we'd go to a party like all over Los Angeles.
No.
Like we get in our cars and drive all over this town, like all the way to Santa Monica sometimes. I went to this party. I didn't know whose it was. And I'm like, well, I'm driving, so I'm not going to drink. Looking back, I was drinking. I just had like 2 whiskeys, but that's drinking, dude. You know? And the party gets busted. And this cop makes my friend pour his beer out. And he's drunk. And he's so pissed about it. That cop made me pour my drink out. And it's like, yeah, but like we're leaving the party because it's busted. Like, what are you supposed to do? You wouldn't have it in my car anyway.
Right.
So we're walking out to my car, and I probably shouldn't be driving. I'm not wrecked. I'm fine. I'm fine. But honestly, we're talking about 2 drinks, but they are whiskeys, and whiskeys are unpredictable.
Yep.
I would never do it today. Let's put it that way. And there's this cop, like, I don't know, like maybe 100 yards away. Seriously, it's very far away. And my friend just goes, "Fuck you, pigs!"
Oh no!
And they fucking roll up. The car just rolls right to us, and they put us all in handcuffs. I'm up against a fence, and I got Maryland plates still, and a Maryland license, even though I've been in town for like 10 months. You know, but you got to like tell them where you live and stuff. Or I guess you don't, but who the hell wants to go down to the Slammer and get a lawyer and all that bullshit? Plus, I mean, I see why people make mistakes with the cops, because you do just want it to be over with. And you feel like if you cooperate with them, that it's going to be over. They'll even tell you, "Hey, man, I can't help you if you don't cooperate."
I don't know if you know this now, but when he yelled "fuck you, pigs," what they heard was, "Let's go run those guys' licenses," and that's
right.
that's what he basically was inviting them to do.
And I didn't have to tell him shit. I didn't have to tell him where I live. I didn't have to tell him why I was visiting. I didn't have to tell him jack shit.
No, because you did nothing except just standing there.
Right.
And somebody yelled something.
Yeah. And I did know this too. And so I'm always on TV be like, "Get a lawyer, get a lawyer, get a lawyer." But and I'm always like, "You don't have to tell the cops shit." But there I was, just like, I was so embarrassed that my friend did that I was just be like, I'm not like him. You know what I mean?
You were lifetime throwing him under the bus right in front of him.
Well, I mean, I didn't do shit.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I'm up against the fence, and he's telling me like he could impound the car and blah blah blah, but they don't. I guess they run the plates or whatever, like you said, and everything's fine. We have no priors, even though the guy that yelled "fuck you, pigs" did. But it probably he didn't get. He never. I don't think he got. I don't know. It was just graffiti stuff. So
Okay.
I don't know where that fly. You know, and some weed smoking. I'm surprised he didn't get taken in. But that's also not a crime.
No, they can. There's a lot of things they could do, but you also have to look at it from their standpoint.
Right.
That's paperwork.
Yeah.
That's getting off the street, take the guy in.
They don't
do
wanna
all the
do it.
process stuff. Exactly. So you really, really need to be a complete and utter criminal,
Yeah.
or
A
just
threat.
such a big asshole.
You have to be a threat in the
that they're
moment.
willing to go
Yeah.
through all that just to.
They
say,
didn't
"Fuck
want
you."
to.
Yeah.
Because we were going to be fine because we don't have any bad records. or
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
So anyway,
But why the handcuffs on you?
because they were just fucking around with us.
So they handcuffed you immediately to just talk to you.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. That is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Normally they would talk to you for like, "Hey, what's up?" Whatever. And if you start getting aggressive, like, "All right, I'll tell you what. Let's freak you out a little bit."
Yeah, but I was totally complicit, and like I was me. I was like, "Hey, what's up?" You know, so who knows if they were really cops?
It
At
turns
this
out.
point.
Now when I look back on it,
Because when we got back in the car, my friend's like, "Hey, they stole my $20." They stole his wallet. I mean, they took his wallet to get his ID, and they took $20 out.
maybe they weren't cops. I don't know, man. You may have.
But it was so funny because he was so drunk, and then we went to these girls' apartment back at our apartment.
Oh, hold on.
complex.
So the night's not over.
I mean, pretty much is over.
No. Apparently, normally when someone says, "and then I got in handcuffs, and I just went home and called it a night," you just said, "So
we
then."
went to the liquor
so
store.
Comma.
We
oh
went
my
to the
gosh.
liquor store because I'm like, I didn't even get to drink.
Comma.
I was like, I didn't even get to drink. I was driving. So we go back to these girls' apartment that were in our complex.
Well, by the way, please don't tell me this was already 4:00 in the morning.
no, this is
Okay, I
like
just want to make sure.
this is like 11 o'clock at night.
Okay, all right.
And the girls had all these like magazines on the coffee table, and my friend had a 40 ounce, but he was still so pissed about that $20. He like he didn't do it on purpose, but he kicked the 40 over and went all over the fucking magazines and shit. And we're just like, we gotta get out of here. This sounds like this guy's a total degenerate. He's a total upstanding.
He just had a bad
individual.
night. He had a bad
he
night.
Had a bad night. Yeah, but that's twice his beer got spilled. Oh, those were the days, man. If you're a kid listening to this, which I doubt you are, just don't even bother.
Yeah,
With
and-
any of this stuff, just get 2 jobs, go to college, like just get rich. Don't bother trying to have fun when you're young.
And if you're trying to figure out what exactly a magazine is, if you go to the grocery store and you go to the paper aisle, the magazines are that weird stuff on the other side that you can find all on the internet, which is why you don't ever go over there or look at that stuff. It's on the other side of paper towels in the grocery store.
It's ruined forever, but it used to be so fun to go to a magazine stand,
Yeah.
especially in Los Angeles when I first got here. They had so much cool, shiny shit. But and they still have them sometimes.
They do. I think there's one over in Los Feliz by you.
That's a flower place.
It's flowers now? Okay. Then never mind. They're all gone.
Yeah, let's see if we need. Oh, it's almost time to call Wendell. Can we get Wendell on the Zoom? He's moving. Do you know he got a new place?
I don't, but I hope he lets us know. That's how exciting it is.
He's moving from Torrance to Torrance.
Oh, okay.
I made that joke last week. The audience is sick of that joke, but I wanted to get you in it.
Thank you.
You'll like this though. I saw somebody on Glendale Boulevard going towards downtown on a scooter. You know those scooters you can rent?
Oh yeah.
Wearing a Metro uniform. Now, if that doesn't explain our Metro system to the outsider, nothing does. Like, they work at the Metro.
And
they probably have free fare, but there's no fucking way to get to work.
I thought you were going to talk about somebody did something stupid in Glendale, because there's a whole page I found on Instagram about only in Glendale. Have you seen that?
No.
I'll send it to you.
How many hours a day are you on the internet?
Not that much.
Because you find so much good shit.
But
that is so specific.
Well, one, it probably picks up on where I live. It has to. It has to kind of know. There's no way it's not reading. I don't know how they do it, because I don't think you give them. It's going to sound like an old man, but my point is, when I signed up, I don't think it asks you where do you live, but maybe if you have location services on, it kind of knows what area you're in, so it pushes stuff towards you. But it's also it's a comedy site, right?
Yeah.
It's a comedy page, so it eventually fell in there. But it's hilarious because, of course, it's just a bunch of dudes going, "Here it is,
yeah,
there it is. There's a Jeep upside down on top of another car, only in Glendale, dude." Like, why was this dude driving 180 miles an hour down? It's just people, and it's just random submissions.
Yeah.
But there's always somebody on their phone like doing their own
Yeah.
Of course this happened in my city. That
is so funny, and it's so typical of anyone. Anywhere you go, people say, "Only in my town."
Right, yeah, exactly.
Only in my town would that happen. To the point, even some places in California, you go, "Hey, you don't like the weather? Just wait a half an hour." That's what our crazy town is like. And you're like, yeah, that's just about everywhere every time it rains.
Right.
Like, it was sunny, and then it was rainy, and then it was sunny again.
I don't have any of those only. I just look at, I'm at a point now, I'm like, of course people do this, this is who they are.
I was thinking the other day that our own personal algorithms are like very unique to us. And like it's almost like a footprint for future civilizations. Here's Brian Irwin's algorithm. Because everybody, like, we're both into, say, stand-up comedy. And we're both into a lot of similar things, I think.
Right.
But
anxiety, panic.
But then there's tiny things like, I'm into skateboarding, but you're into football.
Right.
So like that's gonna like skew it just that much. It's like when you're at the fucking doctor's or the eye doctor's office and they're flipping that thing back and forth. It's just slightly different. So we're all unique because we've all done different searches. We all have unique algorithms, which is really kind of weird. Like, in some ways, that's like, it's gonna be us one day or something. I don't know. My wife's been gone. I've been smoking a lot. Not smoking. That's not my voice. That's not where my voice is from.
Well,
no, I didn't smoke. I take edibles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's funny. That's a great, like, when you start going off, when you start spiraling, you're like, hey, listen, I just want you to know.
Yeah, I don't expect you to relate to this anymore.
Yeah, you're like, hey, I just want you to know
shoot.
I'm really high or drunk right now. It's like a classic, like, end of it. Just so you know, I mean, I'm just going through some shit right now.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds weird what I'm saying. It's really fun.
It's the Craig Coleman parachute. You're like, all right, this is getting too weird. I smoke pot.
He doesn't need to smoke pot. He's got a completely different rabbit hole of stuff. But his rabbit holes are intentional. And he is always, what I like about Craig, regardless of, the great Bigfoot experiment that we all had.
Sure.
Which I can't remember. Was that on my show, old show, or your show?
It was on my podcast,
Okay.
and if the audience doesn't remember,
we got into it over.
yeah, like whether or not
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot existed. Craig insisted that he did and stormed out.
Yeah, which again, I'm fine with seeking the truth and trying to figure out if he
Sure.
is. Which is, and in the end, I was just nudging him. He just didn't. He was not into it that
Yeah,
day.
but that
so-
was like some Stanford experiment shit. Like Craig was sleep deprived.
Yeah, exactly.
From working on
Stanford
we actually
prison
snagged him
experiment.
at work, and we're like, hey, come do this.
Yeah, I probably just got yelled
Come
at
do
by
this.
15 people and was like, "Hey,
Yeah.
come on over here."
Turn your walkie-talkie off. Let's do this nonsense.
Exactly.
What do we got with Wendell?
There he is.
Wendell, Jan, can you
Oh.
hear us?
I can hear you guys. I don't know if you can hear me. I don't have my earbuds. The ones I brought don't work.
You
No, it looks
sound great, and you have stunning blue eyes in this light.
Yeah.
Where were you hiding these?
Yeah.
These baby blues all the years.
I had some of the spice on that planet in Dune, so
Are you using an app that does that to your eyes?
no, it must be the glare. I don't have fucked up eyes like that. I can't even see what you're talking
Why are
about.
blue
really. How's
eyes
that? Is that
fucked
better?
up? What are you talking about? They're not fucked up.
Is that
Oh,
better?
you know what I just realized?
There's nothing better or worse about it. I was like, we're creating a new heartthrob here. I mean, you look like 10 times more attractive than you usually do.
I just realized
Well,
I've never seen
appreciate
you
that.
with regular glasses on.
Oh, that's what it is. He's always wearing sunglasses.
I have never, in all the years that I've known you, never seen you with regular glasses on. That's unbelievable.
yeah, my eyes do look fucking weird. I don't know
What?
what the fuck's
No,
going
they
on.
look blue. Why is blue weird? What are you talking about?
because I have green eyes.
Oh. So you do have some sort of app.
Yeah, I usually have sunglasses on. I left my sunglasses in the car. I had to race over here. I'm at my new apartment.
Can you give us a
I
tour?
gave today away so I could move stuff. I know I told you I was going to be at work, but I gave today away at the last minute.
Can you give us a tour?
MTV Cribs is coming back. Let's go.
Sure.
Let's do it. Is that
I
still a
got
thing?
an empty living room
Yeah.
right here with curtains on
Yeah,
the front.
Cribs is still in the air. on
Are you
MTV.
serious?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. It is right now.
I did bring my most important thing, which is the movie posters that are there behind me
Oh, that's good.
somewhere.
But you're gonna have to adapt a new delivery.
Yeah,
Like,
there they
yo,
are.
what's up, MTV Cribs? You come by, Torrance. This is what's up. This is where I hang out and chill.
Yeah, there. I got my Pulp Fiction and my Forrest Gump back there in the corner.
Wow,
I brought
that's a
those
1994
so
themed
that
apartment.
the movers didn't destroy them somehow.
And what jug? What kind of jug you got up there?
Is that one of those?
Jug?
Is that one of those Huffer gas things that the kids are doing?
Are you talking about my
Oh, that.
Coca-Cola
Okay.
thermometer?
Oh, wow.
It's really hard to fucking look on
Don't
the
worry
screen
about
and
it.
try and. Sorry,
Don't worry
man.
about it.
I'm moving my head one way on my screen, and on your screen it goes a different way.
Well, I mean, I'm happy for you. You're on the second floor now, so
There's my
you don't have to
kitchen.
deal with all the people.
The Jeffersons moving on up.
No, he's definitely moving on up. I mean, he even
Yeah,
looks more
here you go.
attractive.
Here's my bedroom. I don't have much in here except for clothes. I brought some clothes and put in.
Another thing they would do on Cribs is go through the refrigerator, and they always had one of those steel rich people refrigerators.
Yeah. What do you have, Wendell? Because right now it feels a little bit too serial killer. You've got to get some stuff in there.
No, it's a big improvement.
No, there's nothing in it.
This is a huge
right? So
improvement. Steve, who I've talked about before, and Clement were both over here. I was just having coffee with them when you called me, and they say I have triple the space that I used to have.
Well,
that's because you don't have anything in
know.
there right now. So fill it up. Where's the stuff?
But I do really have much more space. And if you look out here,
Oh,
I went from not living a dream to living a dream with a pool.
Oh.
You got the fucking
Check this
pool,
out.
and it's a jump off the balcony pool.
That's a long jump. Do it. Do it.
Yeah,
Do
no,
it.
I'll break my legs. Are you kidding me? But hey, that's a big improvement from someone smoking a pound of weed a day and kids kicking soccer balls against my back door and 5 ice cream trucks. I'm gonna have to switch the rating to 5 swimming pools a day or
Yeah,
5 swimming pools.
5 hot tubs.
5 hot tubs. Yeah, I wish I had a hot. That's the only thing missing is a hot tub.
Are you gonna eventually drive past your old place, honk and flip everybody off, and then just keep going, just so you feel good about it, or?
I'll probably get shot at if I do something like that. They've been nice to me all these years because I was a resident. Now I'm just a fucking angry white guy driving by with a middle finger, and they're going like, "Yeah, fuck you."
So you're telling me you got away with some of your behavior because
got-
they knew you lived there?
I don't know. I mean, I've gotten mad and yelled on the phone before and probably woke people up at the time of the day that I was yelling at people, so they didn't appreciate that. But the only person that ever threatened me was the people that smoke weed
Really?
because I was cursing them out.
When you said threatened you,
Screaming
like,
at
what
them.
do you mean
They came
threatened
and
you?
banged on my front metal door and stuff, but I told them to go fuck themselves while they're in front of my front metal door and go back to smoking some fucking weed all day. They're over there smoking weed right now. I saw the guy leave when I was packing up my car to come over here. He's probably leaving to go pick up more fucking weed. Where else is he gonna go? Fucking loser.
All right. Well,
Anyways,
you're leaving him behind.
sorry.
You're leaving him behind. You got all these new cool neighbors.
I can barely hear you for some reason. I got my volume all the way up too.
Oh, okay. Well, why don't you just let her rip on a movie review then?
Well, if you want me to talk about something new, it's going to be hard. I know you wanted me to watch the rest of Gladiator 2, so I broke down and watched the second hour day before yesterday.
So this is
they
Gladiator.
actually put it on Paramount Plus now.
This is
So
Gladiator
if you
2
have that, you can
Part
watch
2.
it for free.
All
Sorry,
right.
go ahead.
I said this is Gladiator 2 Part 2. Rip it.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Let's get that movie review from the second half of Gladiator 2.
Yeah, it wasn't any better than the first half. I'm really disappointed in Denzel and Ridley Scott for this money grab. It's obviously a money grab. Like, they can do anything they want. They're two of the most successful people in Hollywood. Wait for a better script. All it is, it takes place 16 years later, and it's Russell Crowe's apparent son, Lucius, from the first one, 16 years older. And now the same problems and shit is happening to him that happened to Russell Crowe. So now, instead of Russell Crowe having these problems, it's his son Lucius having these problems. And it's the same story. It's irritating.
Do they get? Does he get captured and taken to like the circus?
Yeah, they go to some island. She sends him away right after Russell Crowe dies, or right. Russell Crowe dies at the end of the first movie.
Spoiler.
And so it picks up right afterwards in a flashback, and she sends him to somewhere else to keep him safe because for some reason she thinks he's in danger. Although Russell Crowe just gave Rome back to the Senate, so why the fuck is he in danger? There's no story to talk about that.
Yeah.
So Connie Nielsen is back in the second one, right? And she does a flashback and sends him away. And I don't know, never comes and gets him or anything. He's just gone for 16 years. Whatever. Peace out, son. You're gone. Not in my life anymore, I guess. I don't know.
Hold on. Can I ask you a question real quick?
Sure.
Didn't Russell Crowe's family, didn't they die? Isn't that the premise of the movie?
Yeah, but there was always this theory that her son Lucius was actually Russell Crowe's son because they used to date back in the day, right? There was that little bit of drama right there.
Okay, I missed that, I guess.
They didn't confirm that in the first movie, but they confirmed it in this movie, right?
Okay.
So I guess spoiler alert or whatever a little bit there.
Yeah.
But we all kind of assumed, I mean, at least I did in the first movie, that it was his son.
Okay.
Right?
Poor Joaquin.
I mean, it was either his son or Joaquin Phoenix's son because he was a weirdo and wanted to bang his sister the whole time.
Yeah. You say tomato.
So, yeah. So, spoiler alert. They do say that it's his, that it's his son.
Okay.
So yeah. So he leaves. She sends him somewhere to hide or whatever, and never comes and gets him. So eventually, Rome goes back to doing the same old shit that Rome does, and they invade wherever the fuck he's living at somewhere. And put him in. And it's the same thing. He gets put into slavery. The same thing. He has to fight for Denzel Washington's character to earn his fucking keep and whatnot. It's the same fucking story. It's so annoying to me.
All right. So how many hot tubs you give this movie?
Yeah, this movie gets a half of a hot tub.
Is there any water in that hot tub?
Just because I feel like being nice. Here, let's check out my backlight.
Let's check.
Oh no, that's too blown out.
Check it out.
There we go. How's this? Oh, that's way too much front light. Sorry.
All right. No,
I'm trying to do some grip and G&E lighting as I'm walking around the apartment. It's not working out too good.
all right. Well, we'll let you get back to it, man.
Yeah, half ice cream truck is the best I can do. This movie was awful. If you're really fucking bored,
Okay, but we're
I guess
seriously
check it out.
we're seriously changing
It's
this.
2.5 hours of your time though, so
We're seriously changing this to hot tubs. And I like
That's fine.
I like the concept of
yeah,
the
half of a hot tub.
I like the
half of a hot
concept.
tub.
I like the concept of half of a hot tub because it means the water just can't stay in it. So it's just like the shittiest hot tub you ever been. It's not
But
hot.
we can
There's
do
no
half
water.
of
in
it.
it.
There's no water,
Yeah.
bad temp.
Yeah.
We could do half of a pool if you want. I mean, I
Same
can walk
deal.
out front during the next episode
No,
and stand.
it's hot tubs, man.
That's a separate
Hot tub?
episode. That's
Okay.
going to be a separate segment for you where Wendell meets new neighbors, and you have to keep your phone on while you go meet new people. That's going to be a good one.
Yeah. I also want you to jump into this.
I
Now-
mean, then we have to have releases
This
and
is
stuff, though. I don't
listen,
know.
You always the second we come up with something, you always come up with a reason why we can't do it. All right, so you're the anti-producer.
Hey, I'm just
so
looking at all sides.
so
Sorry.
this is how I want to end this episode. Though I want you to jump in the pool with your phone, and then the whole podcast will go to black.
Yeah, I
Deal?
just got this phone paid off, so
Okay.
I'm
So
sorry.
close.
Next phone. Next
Can't
phone.
do that.
So
Yeah,
close.
next phone.
How about if we end it with a helicopter blade above my hat? How's that?
Yeah, I like it. Didn't kids used to wear hats like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did. Back in
No,
the
I never had a hat
simpler
like
times.
this, but I'm sure there was kids in our high school that did.
I feel like somebody like Spanky on our gang.
Exactly.
would
Simpler
wear
times.
something like that. Oh, those were simple times.
Simple but racist.
Still just as fucked up. All right, Wendell. Mad love. Congratulations on the new apartment, man. I'm
Yeah.
so
Thanks,
happy
man.
for you.
Yeah.
I think this is gonna make you really happy, dude. It's not
I
like
think you're right.
It's not like getting a material possession. You know, that can't necessarily make you happy. This is more like you're in a healthier place to live.
Right.
You know?
Yes. I can sit at home now and not be miserable because my apartment's not going to fill up with weed smoke. There's not going to be 5 ice cream trucks, someone pushing a shopping cart down the street screaming, buy this or whatever the fuck they're saying. No kids screaming out front, out back, kicking soccer balls onto my roof and onto my back of the building. And it's going to be so much nicer.
Good.
It's
And
my rent's going to double,
we know you
but it's going to be nicer.
It's worth it, dude. And it's still cheap. Your old rent doubled is still cheap. I hate to
I
tell
guess
you.
technically.
I'm
yeah.
telling you. And
LA
today-
wise, probably, yeah.
Yeah. So, and we know you got a better
I guess
ceiling fan
anything
than
less
you
than
used to
2
have.
G's a month is cheap in LA, right?
Big time. Big time. So, congratulations.
Thanks, man.
And we look forward to you already been getting mentally more healthy, I think, since we've come back. And now I can't wait till it's the happy-go-lucky minute with Eric Wendell.
I mean, it's been angry for what, 13 years? We need a change, right?
Yeah.
I think we need a change. I think we're going to sacrifice a little bit of comedy for it, but I don't care.
I'm going to get you a
I want you
T-shirt.
happy.
I'm going to get you a T-shirt made that and you guys know this because you've worked on shows and live events, that when you walk in, it says when you enter these premises, you are allowing yourself to be filmed. So I'm going to get you a T-shirt that says when you enter my presence, you are allowing yourself to be filmed by me. So that, and we'll have all the legalese on the front of your T-shirt so you can go and meet new people and show us.
And we'll send that crew
That's
over
smart.
right now.
That's smart.
Help.
See if you can fit that picture of me drinking a beer that Matt took at the Golden Gopher. See if you can fit that picture on there too.
Put it where?
You know, the annihilated picture.
Yeah,
that
but
Craig,
put it-
that Craig made us.
But put it where? Put that picture
Next
where?
to the legal speak on the front of the shirt. I don't know.
Oh, so they know.
They know who they're talking
they
to.
know.
Yeah. Okay.
And plus, you look fun
I mean,
on
'cause
there.
then there'd be a picture of me and the legal writing that Brian's talking about, right?
Yeah. We got this. This is going to be a great journey.
This is our expertise. You're in good hands. Dude, I sound like
Oh,
a
I'm sorry. Am I
sound-
stepping into y'all's area? I'll leave it up to the experts.
I sound like any typical reality show producer.
Right.
Don't worry, we have your
We
best
got this.
interests in
Yeah,
mind.
yeah.
This isn't one of those shows People talk to me. They're like, this doesn't even seem like a regular reality show. It's just promo for my business.
And this is going to be great.
Yeah.
You're going to be great.
It's going to be great for you. It's going to be good exposure.
Yeah. Great. That's a classic.
Yeah.
Going to be great exposure.
Dude, that's the classic film. Dude, I know we're not paying you that much on this short film,
but
we're going to give you credit, IMDb credit, meals. It's going to be great exposure. Our next project is going to blow up, and we're going to bring you back for that one.
Yeah, this project's going to blow up, and we'll bring you back for the sequel. Which I always did, Wendell. I always brought you back for the sequel.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't, right?
No shit.
I've worked on those shows.
This reminds me of stacking your resume when you first start, and I know I've mentioned this before, but you probably don't know this, that I one time went to see a manager about being an actor, and they're looking at my resume that I trumped up, and they go, okay, acting classes. They go, who is Eric Wendell? Because I had just made him up as an acting teacher.
And then you showed him the picture of the Golden Gopher.
I was just like, oh, he's just some dude in Hollywood.
Dude,
he was off Santa Monica Boulevard. Yeah. Yeah, I should have showed her your extra work.
There you go.
I didn't have a VCR handy.
Yeah, I don't have one anymore. I let Dan borrow my VCR back in the day, and I never got it back.
Yeah. I like
never loan people things
now.
that matter to you.
Yeah.
Ever.
You didn't need that VCR anymore, did you, Wendell?
I mean, I have some old personal. God, why can't I get this fucking light? I am fucking it up now. Anyway, all right, that's enough of the fan thing. I don't, I have some old personal videos, like skate videos and home videos and stuff that I could use a VCR for that I don't have anymore.
I used to know this guy that worked at Lightning Dubs, and he could have duplicated all that stuff for you.
We had 50 VHS machines.
I think I asked Matt to do that for me at one point, but he was busy or something. Or
I got to see the skate video. I got to see the skate video of Eric Wendell shredding the Washington D.C. area.
Or maybe you did help me. I made it and put it on DVD. It was mostly Randy skating at Osborne Park High School in Manassas, Virginia.
I've seen this video.
Place that me and Randy used to go to. Randy has it if he still has it. I made a copy of it and switched it to DVD from VHS and gave it to him one year as a present.
This is a great video. It's got a young Eric Wendell at high school.
So you have seen it?
I've seen it. It was playing on the TV in our apartment when we all lived together. So I've seen a very young Eric Wendell, and it blew my mind. I'm like, there he is.
I wasn't very good and coordinated at skateboarding, but I had fun. Everyone else was always better than me and looked like smoother, like when they were doing tricks and stuff. I always looked like I was struggling.
So you know what? If you actually skateboarded, and I will tell both you guys. So, given my age, I was part of the early skateboards. You know, the really tiny, skinny ones that when they mass produced them.
Yeah.
Not Southern California stuff. Those Dogtown and Z-Boy shit.
Ones.
Yeah, shitty ones. And I remember somebody skated to my house in Racine, Wisconsin. Was like, hey, dude, skateboards. This is where it's at. I'm like, cool. Let me try. I literally got on that thing for 3 feet, fell, and I was like, nope. Yeah. Never again. Never stood on one of those things again. Because
that's what my dad did. He was like, he goes, me and my brother were getting into skateboard, and he's like, I think I'm gonna try to skateboard too. And he got on once and just fell on his ass, and that was it.
I did not like the feeling of that fall, and I was like, not gonna do this over and over again to learn how to do this.
Can you imagine idiots like me and Wendell just did it for 20 years, and there's nothing quite the stinging kiss of concrete.
But yet, you
did
it again.
You're falling downstairs on a concrete, right on your hip. I don't know how my parents let me do this. I don't know how I let myself do this.
You must have just been riddled with bruises.
So all the time, cuts, bruises. But there's it's more than bruises. Like when you land on your hip, that's like your bone just hitting the concrete. You're not
supposed to give up, Brian, just because you fall once. You got to get up and shake that shit off. I mean, how many times did you try a hand? Well, I guess you didn't, but how many times did we try handrails and bust our fucking ass?
Wasn't going to happen. I did not like that feeling of that fall. And I knew it was only a matter of time before I was going to shatter everything in my body. So I kind of predicted.
Also, it sounded like you were using those like really thin skateboard. Like those are like 60. You don't want to do any tricks on that unless you're just doing slalom shit down a fucking hill. You needed a real skateboard to do real tricks.
My first trick was falling off it immediately and seeing if I don't pass away. That was my first trick. And that was my last trick. I survived, I was alive, and I ran into my house in tears. I was done.
Skateboarding, I think really it changed my life for the better. Like I think I came to California because skateboarding showed me it was possible. I was into taking risks because of that. And it just turns you on to all this creativity and stuff. And it shows you don't have to be on any high school sports team. But when it comes right down to it, you're just slamming your body against the fucking ground.
You know what was great?
I would concentrate on guitar. If I had to do it over again, I would just concentrate on guitar. I still love skateboarding, and I'm glad I made it through, and I have very fond memories of skateboarding. But if I could just shred the axe as good as I could skateboard, I think my life would be even better.
But okay, so let's turn you guys into now. Let's say you were kids now. Would you guys be doing these electric skateboards that go like 40 miles an hour?
I'm not into that. I like being able to do tricks on the skateboard.
But aren't these guys trying to do stuff like that with those
stuff
things?
is not made for half pipes. That's just for rolling down the street.
Okay.
No, that's made for lazy people. That shit's pointless.
It's corny, too.
That's like people with these electric bikes. You're not getting exercise when the fucking machine's doing everything for you.
I mean, at least an electric bike makes sense. Electric skateboards, like you're still gonna hit the concrete.
Exactly.
Because I see people in Brooklyn doing this all the time. They're riding those big one-wheel tires, and they're just gonna eat shit at least once a day.
Dude, there was a guy.
That's a serious accident waiting to happen.
So
the whole point of skateboarding, you're getting a workout. And that's what I miss about it. Like I used to be in great shape. We were skating all around DC and Fairfax all day, every day. It was a great community of people. You're friends with people you would never be friends with otherwise, probably, or meet. So it's an amazing community of people. It helps you grow as a person. You don't grow up being a racist asshole like all these Trump supporters are these days, because you're hanging out with all
but that's a lot of
people from all walks of life.
To be
everybody
fair,
can skate.
To be fair, that's a lot of sports, but I do agree with you. When you're a skateboarder, you're meeting every outcast from every town around your town.
Right.
Like you're meeting all different types of people. And you have a connection. You have a good connection.
Because they're skateboarding.
Yeah.
You're automatically their friend as soon as you meet up at that spot.
And there's also there's no villains in skateboarding.
Jim Bob over here does that fucking cool. Sorry, go ahead.
There's no enemies in skateboarding.
Okay, so there wasn't factions?
Well, if you're playing a rival high school, you probably hate like 3 guys on the team at that other high school. But if you're skateboarding with other people from a different high school, you love these other people from that high school.
So there was no conflicts at all?
There was a healthy competition in skateboarding, at least when I was doing it.
Just to see who could do better tricks.
There was conflict between the older kids and the younger kids.
Okay.
That was real conflict.
The only conflict was between us and the rollerbladers because we hate them.
That's like comics and
sketch.
Karaoke?
Comics and sketch acting.
Sketch. So, hey, Wendell, you said you were skateboarding in D.C.? Like actual Washington, D.C.?
Yeah, I skated for 20 years. I started skating in 87, and I skated until I moved out here for the first few years. Skated Hollywood High School, Staples.
Did you skate around like the monuments and stuff like that, and you guys try to do the stairs on any of those things and get in trouble?
So this is how. Well, there used to be a place called Freedom Plaza in Washington D.C.
It's still there.
Did you skate there too?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
Not as much as Randy and Wendell because I live further away, but it was someplace like I knew about and I went to. It was city funded. It was like a plaza, like a monument. There were monuments there, and there was tons of ledges and tons of steps, and it was the place. It was the place.
It's right in front of the National Theater, right? Or the National Theater?
Exactly.
Is that it?
So when I went on that Tosh tour, I went to, in Washington, D.C., I played that theater right by Freedom Plaza, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. And then in Baltimore, I played the Lyric, I think it is, which is another skate spot for me. So I was like, this is so fucking cool coming back to play these venues at my old skate spots. I was like really turned on by that.
But yeah, to answer your question, Brian, we skated all over DC. We would start out skating at we called it Pulaski, right? It's technically Freedom Plaza. We call it a Pulaski because at one end of Freedom Plaza is a statue of General Pulaski or Commander Pulaski or whatever the fuck his actual title was, right?
Pulaski Highway, I think his name was.
Right. So we would, and then after we got sick of being there for a while, we would skate from there to the archives. We used to go skate the National Archives because they had a cool spot at the archives. Then when we were done skating at archives, we'd go to what we called welfare, which was the Department of Health and Human Services building, and we called it welfare banks because they had these big stone benches right next to what we call it welfare, right? It's not actually, I guess it is welfare, Department of Human Health and Services or whatever, DHS or whatever it's called. But they had these big fucking stone benches, like K-rail style, like height, and we'd all go skate them. And they had a bunch of stairs, like Embarcadero.
Yeah, all right. And this is just a side note, little trivia for the Full Charge Power Hour. Our associate, Randy, who's on this podcast, not on the new one, but he was on the old one, used to work at the CIA for a summer.
Did he skateboard right on those steps?
No,
too?
He was a different person when he worked at the CIA.
No,
he was undercover.
I'm assuming you could also not skate anywhere near the CIA.
You couldn't skate at any of these places he's talking about. It was like they
so
would
were you guys getting
out.
chased?
Anyway.
Oh, so you were getting chased off of all
by
these
cops?
places.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Capitol Police would chase us off.
In fact, Wendell, let me tell this story. There's this big skateboard video that came out by a company I think called The New Deal, where like it's like Wendell and all his friends beating up some guy in a motorcycle helmet who came. I'm realizing now as I'm telling the story, it's not a cop. It's just some civilian in a motorcycle helmet who like some skateboarder ran into, and he went back to his motorcycle and got his helmet and then went back to fight all the skateboarders. Here's the thing about skateboards. They double as a weapon.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, I can't believe they put that shit in the video. They're beating up this
Wendell's
guy.
video?
And Wendell, you in that?
I don't think I was
were you
there for that, was I?
You'd know if you were there because the video came out. It's probably on YouTube.
I don't remember I don't think I was there for that. I don't remember beating anybody up in a motorcycle.
So I see this video.
But that's good. Just so you know, that's a good thing.
So I see this video.
Right.
And,
Okay, just so we're clear. Okay.
and I'm like, these DC kids are fucking crazy. And then the next thing I know, Randy's at my college, and my other buddy, who's also a skateboarder, he's like, yeah, that guy's part of the Freedom Plaza crew. He's like, those guys are all dicks. And I'm like, I know, I've seen the footage.
So these are like tapes that get passed around back in the day, or like
You could buy them at a skate shop.
Oh,
They
okay.
weren't. They were officially released by a skateboard company.
Okay.
Right.
And this was like
just like
after,
the old Bones Brigades videos and stuff. These are all official skate videos.
it was like a shitty Easter egg. It happened after the credits. It was like a felony after the credits.
Well, yeah, they couldn't put it up front. Yeah, because just in case they were still looking for some of those guys.
Yeah.
Did you ever
I mean-
skate down the steps of the Lincoln Memorial or any of that stuff? Did you ever get too close to something that?
That's
the
rookie
Lincoln
talk.
Memorial wasn't a cool place to skate.
Yeah, that's not a good
because
place
of
to
the
skate.
reflecting pool.
Why?
It just didn't have anything good to skate there.
Oh, I thought just to be
Yeah.
just to
Just
kind
be an
of
asshole?
just to be an asshole. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to get chased by a
No.
cop
Right.
or
No,
something.
you want to be an asshole, you beat up a motorist.
Okay.
Yeah, we were trying to have fun. We weren't there to
Fair
just be assholes and stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
All right.
I mean, the closest I came to a fight like that was one day at Freedom Plaza, or Pulaski as I like to call it. I'm trying to fix my camera angle here. Some asshole in a suit walked right across the middle of Pulaski when we were skating. And we were like, probably playing like Add a Trick or something, right? And one of the guys, I think it was Eben, one of me and Randy's close friends, Eben, said something to the guy. He's like, yeah, get the fuck out of the way or whatever, right? And the guy pulls open his suit jacket, and he's got a fucking gun holster underneath his suit. And so he's probably like FBI. Or whoever the fuck he was, right? So we were like, oh, okay, well, whatever. So we walked away, you know what I mean? Like, so you never know who you're fucking with in D.C.
Don't fuck with anybody
motorcycle
ever.
guy picked
You're
the
gonna
wrong
get
group
it.
to fuck with, but
That guy, I
You
think
know.
I saw that guy 4 years ago in the January 6th tape. All right, we got to wrap this up. We got to let Aaron have the studio back. Thanks for
right.
listening to the Full Charge Power Hour. Congratulations to Wendell. And Brian, I say ride out this outfit the rest of the day.
I'm going to.
Patreon.com and / the Full Charge. And also thefullcharge.com has all my tour dates with ticket links. Peace.
Peace out, fam.